I just never really got onto it. And now this morning I just missed it because my trade manager wasn't working. I just updated my laptop last night, and then it was by the time I reinstalled it. Now I think it's gone without me. It might come back and tap me again, but
You'll have to tell us
but
what.
yeah, it's
It's
a really good.
what candle is it?
There's so your time will be 7:30 to 7:45.
7:30. But so you basically all you're doing is exactly the same, but that.
Exactly the same. I'm less picky with the candle unless it's really small. Like a tiny little one. Then I won't really do it. Or if it's like so big.
So
Then
that
I
bottom wick
kind of
there,
leave it.
is that bottom wick okay?
Yeah. So that's okay for me.
All right.
And then yeah, like I said, I did a whole year last year, and it was really really good. But then I never these ones I do like at least a 2-to-1.
Yeah.
And then with a break even at 1-to-1.
Right. So 2-to-1.
Yeah.
I'll have to have a look. I'm still tracking the nailer like on That's but it's gone a bit shit, I won't lie.
Yeah, is it? Yeah.
It's getting like double losses every week.
Yeah.
Which is a bit of a nightmare.
How's the oil? I saw you put the oil trade on.
You are?
I saw you put the oil idea out.
Yeah.
Swing trade.
Well, if you're not in, you could just put you could either get a buy stop on above, or you could, because the weekly closed bearish, but the weekly hasn't closed back into that range, so it's still respecting that level. So that's why I've re-entered on it. But it's up to yourself what you can do. You get a buy stop on in case we do push further down, or you can just sort of re-enter there. Like I say, these are swing trades, so it's quite relaxed with them. You're just looking at the 10 o'clock candle. We had a lovely close back into the area though. That daily was a lovely close on Friday.
Yeah.
Really nice. So yeah.
You had a good day off yesterday?
Yeah, did you know? I love my weekends. I don't do much either, this is the thing. We literally chill. Me and Emma, we just love sitting in the garden with the sunshine, few drinks, nice food, and just chilling.
Nice.
Or we could just go to the beach, go for a little walk or whatever. We don't do much. Normally it's took up with bloody Mason's football.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was a nice weekend, like. It was a nice weekend. Okay, should we do a top down on Nas and that? Actually, let's quickly go over Friday, was it? Because Friday... Was it Friday? Oh, yeah. So, basically, guys, price has been doing exactly what we said it was going to do. Right, so when we were around, if we go to the 1 hour, if you can remember last week, on Friday, we had a wing back sell from here, but we also had sellers below. But if you go much the stream back, you'll see me mention that I don't think we're going to get a nice break below this. I think it's going to drive through. Okay. Now, also what we had marked up, which I didn't take, right? I didn't take, but we had a potential wing back buy here as well. Now, with such a big pushing candle like that, I could have been interested in taking this wing back buy, especially if we got a close back above. So we probably would have took that, and again, that would have been a fantastic trade as well. So what you get the picture with trading is you start sort of, the analysis is playing out, but you just sort of can't seem to get into the trade, and that's trading sometimes, because you just want to make sure that you're fully confident with that trade. So it's still good to be cautious. But what's happening, and then we came up to these wing backs, but they weren't valid for me at that point, because at that point you broke all the lows, you've got liquidity to drive and break these highs, so I wouldn't have been in on these anyway. So yeah, let's do a proper top down and see what's going on today. Let's see if we can catch something today, man. I feel like I haven't had a trade for ages. Okay, so we know the monthly, this is the issue we're having. The monthly's filled its range now. So that's the range on the monthly, and it's sort of filled it, but we haven't closed yet. We've still got 4 days left to close. So I don't know what this monthly is going to do. Are we going to keep moving? Are we going to consolidate? So we're going to be just moving like that for the next week, ready for the monthly to close? We don't know, because we filled the range. So the monthly doesn't really help. Let's go down to the weekly. Now, where are the weekly ranges? Let's see. So the weekly range, you've got an area here, which is like it's tough because we've had a gap. we have closed back below, and then you've got another area there. So if that's the weekly, this is what's difficult. We've got a contradiction because the monthly we're expecting to stay in and around this area because we need to fill the range and close, and the weeklies close back into the area. So you've had a fake out back to the downside. You have got a minor support level here, but it is a minor support level. So could we expect this weekly to flip to the downside? And if we do, that means the monthly would want to pull back. It means the monthly would close bullish still, but the monthly could pull back to these levels. So we're there now. We could pull back to around these levels if the weekly flips. And can we see that happening? I'm not sure. I don't think we're going to do that. So therefore, are we expecting this weekly to flip? Maybe not, but that's what it should do. Good morning, Frosty. Best and only on here. Best and only you are, mate. Welcome to the stream, buddy. We're just doing a top down. So the weekly looks like, yes, it could flip to the downside, and it could flip to the downside, but the monthly is contradicting us because the monthly's filled its range now. So we're not sure where this monthly is going to close. Until this monthly closes now, we can't really do much on the higher time frames. So typical. Cheers, buddy. So let's have a look at the daily then. We'll go down to a lower time frame. So the daily has closed bullish. Previous dailies closed bullish. Now what happens when price closes above here? The only areas we've got to go off is this, once you've been below this, that's a gap, so we'll disregard that one. So that's all we've got to go off really. Now when you close above there, what happens to price? Well, price pushes to at least here. Now the issue we've got is, if you remember me saying last week, this rejection area here is brand new. Price is never ever rejected from here. So this is what we call new data is getting printed. And when new data is getting printed, it's something we just can't preempt. A bit like fake outs, we can't really preempt them. If they're going to happen, they're going to happen. We can do things to limit us getting trapped in them, but this currently is new data. The only time we've rejected in and around these areas is here and here. Got this one and you got this one. That is it. So technically, we were hovering in and around that area and now we've rejected. So this is the issue now. We are creating new data. So what is price going to do now? Well, price has never done this, so we're struggling to work out what price is going to do. Now looking on the lower time frames, we've got on the higher time frames, we've got contradiction on the monthly and the weekly, and now the daily's staying bullish because the daily's closed back above. Could we see this daily flip to the upside? Well, I think we potentially could, so that's what we're going off. We're going to have to go off the daily. We've had a fake out to the downside off the daily, close back in, and we've had a bottom wick. Could we see this daily flip to the upside? Now, if this daily is going to flip to the upside and tap this area, what would that mean on the monthly? So let's have a look. So that would be the monthly simply pushing higher to fill the rest of the range, because the monthly range is here. Let's mark this up, pal. And this is why we've got to be careful taking buys above there, because the monthly could push above that and at any point it could reject. So we've got to be careful taking buys above that. That's the issue we've got. So if we're expecting that this daily could flip and push to fill this range, because that's what tends to happen. So we had a close above there and we drove and tapped even before rejection. Close above there, drove, close above there, drove, close above there, drove. Could we just take a buy up? We could do, but I probably need a bit more than that because we have got contradiction on the higher time frames, and also we're creating new data. So anything can happen at the moment. So what could we do to expect this daily to push up to confirm that it's going to do it? Well, we could go down the time frames and have a look for closes above. So for example, these are perfect one. If this 6 hour closes back above here, then technically you've had a fake out to the downside back in. That's a good sign that price needs to push further up. But that's 2.5 hours away. So let's have a look at the lower time frames. It's a bit laggy. Excuse me. So the 4 hour hasn't closed yet. We've got a bottom wick. So what we could do, again, there's 2.5 hours left of nearly 3 hours left to the 4. But the 4's nearly filled its range. 2's closed. So I would probably need closure. Probably above this level. Off the 4. I think we would need that forward close. We potentially could have took the 3, but it's already moved. It didn't technically close back above. So where can these 4s go from here? If you look at the 4 as well, right? The 4 technically hasn't closed back above yet. You've got a minor range here at 21163. And you're still below that, so could this 4 flip to the downside at any point? You've got a 4 there with no top wick as well. So are you coming up for that top wick and then are you going to flip? Do we need to fill that range above? If so, could we just take the buys up? No. Can't just get in like that. I need at least an hour close. If we can get maybe an hour close above like this, let me confirm this range, and we get a steep bottom wick, could potentially have a buy stop on, but I'd need a bottom wick. 48, and there's 48 minutes left. So basically, guys, if we get an hour close like this, okay, so this is the range. We're not in this range yet. This is the thing. We're not in this range. We're currently in this range, okay, which this is a minor support. It's only a minor support. So if we get an hour close like this, I would wait for a bottom wick to tap previous support, and then I'd have a buy stop on to come and fill the rest of the range. If we come up and tap this area with this 1 hour, then I'm not interested, and I'd wait for the. I'll have to wait for the 4 hour. And what we want to see with the 4 hour is I want to see a forward close above 21,236. That's what I would want to see ideally. Even though you don't tend to close above. I mean, look at that 4. Came all the way up. All the way. All the way. Even this came to there. So, is that telling us that we only need a forward above this? Yeah, I think that would be better. Let's get rid of this. So we can either take a 1 hour above here or a 4 hour. 4 hour would be much better. Close above, what would that be on the daily? And that would be expecting the daily to flip to the upside. But our target's only here because this is the monthly range. Yeah, there's no really I can do at the moment until we get another hour close on NAS. Okay, so that is NAS. Top down, we've got potential buys above. As long as we don't fill this range, guys, we can't fill this range. Otherwise, we'll have to wait for the 4 hour. Okay, so let's move on to gold. Let's see what gold is doing. What did we have on gold? What are these old markings? I think we had. Didn't we have a sell stop on any of the? Was it the daily, the weekly? It was the daily, wasn't it? If the daily was going to flip. Yeah. Okay, let's do a top down. Okay, so gold. Monthly doesn't really give us much still. We're very, very bullish on the monthlies, and we've been bullish for absolutely ages. So it doesn't really give us too much to go off. The weekly. Now this is awful. Look at this. These are weekly candles, guys. Look at that. It's like a Newcastle top. Black and white. Just, yeah, that's an awful range to be in. So we've got now is we've really bounced up and down here. We've actually broke out. We broke above. And then we're getting a bottom wick. So could we expect this weekly to flip to the upside? Well, technically, that's what we'd be looking for, wouldn't we? Because we've had a fake out. We had a fake out to the downside. So this is the range we were in. We had a fake out to the downside, which came and completely filled the range and broke out to the opposite side. So, now if this weekly closes back in, then we've just got to be careful because it's just messing about. That we'd have to wait for the monthly to close ideally. However, if this is the fake out back to the upside and you've closed like this, broke out the other side, could we not just expect buys above? Well, potentially yes, we could. What's the reason? Why did we do that? Did we? Is this because this is the liquidity grab in order to break these highs again? So could we just expect something like bottom wick and then a flip to the upside? Simple as that. Well, we could look at that, but then also we've got to say, okay, well, how steep do we expect this bottom wick to be? Could we maybe try and grab some wing back buys as this candle pushes down? As this candle pushes down this week, could we maybe look for wing back buy areas for the flip? And also, could we, remember this is a weekly candle, could we take some sells down? Because the bottom wick on this doesn't actually need to be that big. All it needs to be is tap previous support, which is here, and it's already tapped it. So at any point this weekly could flip to the upside. So we do have to be careful taking sells down. Now let's have a look what the daily's done. So the daily range for me is more like that. It's awful on the daily. And technically we've closed back into the range on the daily. So therefore, we've got contradiction on the weekly and the daily. The daily's closed back into the range. Where do these normally go? Well, it looks like these come down to these levels. So could we have that as potential wing back buys? If this daily taps this area, would it carry on driving? Or could it carry on driving? Like so, it doesn't need to reject from here. And maybe close bearish. And then even if it does want to go that way, are we going to get something like that? And could we grab a wing back buy from here? Until the daily closes back above, we can't really take the weekly flip to the upside. I would need a daily close above. So let's say, for example, this daily does flip to the upside and closes like that. Then yes, I'll be looking at getting buys in and around these levels to come up to fill the range, or at least break the highs. Could this flip? Or we could look at a smaller time frame, but we have got a potential level for a wing back buy already. It's a nice rejection area as well. If you look at the 6 hours, look at that. even if you drive down, you still want to reject. I'm going to bring this one into play. At this point as well, stops. Where would you have your stops? Well, your stops would just be below here. Because you didn't break that low there. You didn't break it there. You didn't break it here. You didn't break it here. If you do break that low, you push to these levels. So that's your only other area to have stops below that. And then you've got to say to yourself, is it worth the trade? Is it worth it? Am I willing to risk that? Do I put my stops below there? So we could look at something like that. The 6 hour closed bearish, the previous one. We haven't closed yet on this. It looks like we can actually get down these levels from here. Maybe the next 6 hour we could see a tap of this zone on the next 6 hour. The only thing I don't like is we've broken a high. We've broken a high. Is this liquidity now to drive past this? That's the only thing what could catch us out, really. We've got potential wing back buys there. Let's see what we can do in regards to maybe catching something a bit sooner. 4 hours closed, no bottom wick. Had no top wick even on it. You could see a rejection from maybe 3289 to come back up. Doesn't really give us much of that. 3 closed. Could see a consolidator in and on this level. We could get this mess now. We could really just mess about. Once where we've drove through this area. So from these heights, right? Let's say we came from here. All these came from here. We came from here. We rejected. 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 Even here, you rejected back up to there. And then you drove through. Only one time have we ever came from this height and drove straight through. Once. So out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you can maybe count this one as well. 6. Out of 6 times, sorry, out of 7 times, only 1 have we drove through that area. So I'm pretty happy with a wing back buy on there. But I'm not sure you're going to get activated for at least another 3 hours, maybe longer. We might get into this. It looks like we could just consolidate for the next few hours, which is not ideal. But I do like this wing back buy. It's got to get activated today though. Wing back buys. I'll put on. This is a daily wing back buy, right? The take partial move to break even on this would be this level, and then you're asking, okay, well, what made you choose that level? Well, like I've just said, every time when we reject from here, even when we drive down, which is this one and this one, this is the one that goes straight through, but even when we drive down, where's the least amount of pullback we get before the drive down? And it's here. So this is where we activated. There's the pullback, and then we drove down, and every one pulls back to at least that. So that's where we go risk free. Okay, we can take partial as well. Like a 2-to-1 anyway on that point. So yeah, that's what I'm after. And you could just say it's just off the daily. We're expecting the daily to come down, tap and reject from here. And here's the thing, like, if this is what trading is, all probability. But it doesn't mean you're a wizard. I've been called a wizard many times. Doesn't mean I'm a wizard. I get all my answers from previous data. And if it doesn't play out, that's just trading. It's all about probability. We know price can drive through. I mean, to be honest, it even rejected there first. Okay, but is this rejection and this pullback, is this ready to drive through now? Could be. But probability wise, I know 7 times, 6 out of 7 times, 6 times we rejected from here. We've only drove through once. So my probability is pretty high that we're going to reject from 3275. So that's why I'm willing to risk whatever I'm willing to risk on this trade to see if I can catch it. And that's all trading is. There's no special things. You're just getting the information from previous data. That is it. Yeah. Now, if we're looking at this wing back buy, then could we look at potentially taking the sell down? Well, this is where it's difficult now, taking the sell down, because you have got a minor support here, which we filled the range and we haven't closed yet. We would need this forward to close in an area. Well, we would need this forward to close. If we get this forward close, then we could look at some trades. But because this forward's filled the range, I don't know where it's going to close. I don't know how it's going to close. I can't really do nothing. I literally can't do anything at the moment. So yeah, that's all I've got going on. I'm with gold at the minute until the forward close. I'll still be on anyway. We'll have a look. I'm going to put this as a trade idea as well. So, this wing back buy, this would be our take partial move to break even. But where could we push to? Well, what we've seen is you tend to just reject them here, really, on these levels. So that would potentially be my target. Which is a shame, really. No, actually, because we've got contradiction on the weekly and the daily. Could we expect this weekly to flip? Potentially, yeah. Bottom wick, rejection. Might not happen today, but could we expect this to flip? So technically, our target could be the new all-time highs, really, which is here. That could be literally your target if the weekly wants to flip to the upside. Be a lovely trade. Be a lovely trade. Yeah, that's what I've got going on, guys. So let me just get this on the trade IDs, 2 seconds. And then happy with that gold, Andre. It looks nice, if we catch that.
It does, yeah. I'm gonna place them on max lot size.
Yeah, 10 lot. 10 lot.
So that was 3311 for the break even, right?
3311. It has to be, yeah. And whether you take some partials is completely up to yourself, because we seem to be bouncing in between this range. If you look at these,
yeah,
we're like bouncing in here, and if we come back down, you could easily come back down for your stops at that point.
Yeah, I think a small little partial there, just so that if it reverses heavily, that I don't lose out.
Yeah.
That's a nice ultimate target then, actually.
That's lovely, yeah. Okay, so
that'll be 11 to 1, almost 12 to 1.
Yeah, 3275.92 is the entry. Stop loss would be 3256.30. TP1 and break even would be 3311.66, and TP2 would be the all-time highs. Could be all-time highs. Would be nice.
That is placed. All right.
Okay. Happy with gold. We can't do anything until the forward closes. Once the forward closes, we can look at potential sells, but at the moment we can't do nothing. So that's we've got one trade set up on gold for potential buys. Let's have a look at our oil. I did re-enter on oil. We had a daily close back in on, was it Friday? On Friday, which is here. We closed back into the range. Got a nice fake out to the downside. And then we're back in. We closed bearish on Monday, but we didn't close back below that range. So technically, act upon what we see, we're still respecting this level. Okay. If we close back below, it's the same thing again. This is the thing. You could either wait for the weekly close below there, or you can get out on the daily and you wait for a daily close back above. The thing with these swing trades, like I said to you, it could take 2, 1, 2, 3 entries to actually catch it. But when you catch it, guys, this is the thing. It's nice and calm. It's slow. You're just looking at it every day, and you can really grab some nice. Because we're expecting price. I'm expecting price. If it's going to do this, that is right. It still might not. We've got sells below this area, so we've got an ambush to the downside. But if we are correct in our analysis, right, we could potentially see 106 levels. 106 levels. So we had this wedge here. Okay, and if you've just joined the stream, with oil, I only swing trade on oil, right? We're in this wedge. And we've been watching price in this area for quite a while. We've had buys and sells on it. But what we'd said is we either need to break out below all this low to grab liquidity, to then come back up, to then break out the wedge. Okay, to come up. Or if we break out of the wedge to the downside, in around these levels here, we're going to see a decision whether we're coming down or not. And to the downside, it's pretty clean traffic below this level. It's very clean all the way down to 44.88. So we have got an ambush to the downside if the daily closes below that. If the daily closes below, where was it? 56.96, we can look at sellers below. But at the moment, we've closed back above. And I'm expecting price to break these highs at least. Okay, at least. So we will see what the daily does. We will see what the daily does tonight, and then go from there. Okay, so what are we after really then? What was going on NAS again? The daily's flipping on NAS. Oh yeah, we'd need a close, wouldn't we? Potential buys above. No, it wasn't. It was an hour. The hour, look at the hour, look. So the hours now fill that range. So the hours took the advantage point away from us on NAS. So therefore, that means now I would have to wait for a forward close. But here's the thing with the 4 hours. The 4 hours can actually come up and tap this level. So could we take the hour? Don't like it. Because if you think about with the 4, right? The 4 is currently still in this range. The 4 is still in this range. So at any point, this 4 can flip to the downside. It wants to at any point. I'm not sure it will because we're going with the daily. So the daily is expecting to flip to the upside to come up to fill the rest of the range. But it can still flip to the upside. That's why I want a forward close above. That would just confirm to me that, you know, we're bullish and we are pushing that way. But what we're looking at is the fours can tend to come up to these levels. It's filled the range now. I can't really do now. Let's have a look what the twos like. If we get a 2 close above this in 25 minutes, we could look at maybe a wing back buy, but you've got to be careful. So what I'm seeing is, I know this is coming from the upside, but 2-hour close above, pull back, tap. 2-hour close above, pull back, tap, come up to fill the rest of the range. So if we got a 2-hour close above here in 25 minutes, could we would need a bottom wick, but if we come and tap this level, it would be no trade. That would be our advantage point. So if we tap that level, no trade. But if the 2 closes like this and we pull back, I will be interested in taking a wing back buy from 21,194 at this level. Yeah, otherwise we would have to wait for potentially the 4. But this is betting on that the 4 is going to close bullish. But remember, the 4 can flip to the downside at any point. I've got Moana in my head. With the kids, Andre, you know how it is. You know how it is.
Love that movie, mate.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it? It is good.
I know. Make way, make way.
You sound like you're in the movie. You do sing along though, don't you? You do sing along. Come on, calm your tits. 22 minutes, we might have a trade. Oh. Did you have a good weekend like Andre? What did you get up to?
Oh, it was quite a busy one actually. I had a nice Friday night doing one night camping with my oldest daughter. So it's the year 1, 2, and 3. There's all the kids and just the dads that go camping.
Oh yeah, I do that as well. That's good.
So it's so nice, and then basically all we eat or dinner that night is steak and bread, and sausages.
Yeah.
And the kids run around and just eat candy and run, and it's in this forest area, so it's lovely. They just go mental and they love it, and the dads we sit together and around the fire and a glass of wine and beer or two and just chill. But it was quite cold actually.
Was it?
Rainy and stuff, but otherwise it was lovely. The benefit this year was there was no mosquitoes because of all the wind and rain.
Yeah.
So that was Friday night, and then came back Saturday nice and tired, and then our neighbors just got a boat. So like, hey, why don't you come with us? So we drove somewhere, and it was meant to be get on the boat, go for lunch somewhere and come back. But then we ended up just driving or sailing on the boat for a long time, and which is lovely. But we got my 2 young kids with on that one. They've got 2 young ones, so the little ones weren't too happy with just sitting on the boat. And so that was lovely, but it was really nice. And then Sunday we had a big family get together. And
Good.
then,
Proper busy one.
Sunday. So busy weekend, yeah.
Oh,
So
dear.
yesterday I was knackered.
Can imagine. Yeah, we do that dad's camping. Well, we used to do it every year. The kids are older now, so it's like,
Yeah.
but we used to do it every year. All dads will meet up with the
Yeah.
kids. I mean, you should see the state of the kids, man. They're all minging. They've not had a wash. Like, they're just, yeah, it's great. We used to go to the Lake District for it.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, but, I came come back and all my clothes are just reeking of smoke
Yeah.
and everything. But it's such a lovely night out. Regardless of the weather or whatever happens, it's really nice. And then one of the dads he brought a whole crate of fresh oysters.
Oh,
So we were eating oysters there,
that'd be nice.
and one of the dad had some champagne, so we're sitting in front of the camp eating oysters and drinking champagne. Very.
Was there caviar not there?
No caviar, but he actually brought a tin of the surströmming. Do you know what that is?
No, what's that?
That rotten Swedish fish that they
What proper stings?
it's in this can, and then when you open it, it just
Yeah.
stinks.
Yeah.
So they opened that at one point, and it just stank everything. I didn't taste. I wouldn't mind tasting it, but if I eat it, I want to eat it proper. You mean to eat it on a cracker or something, whatever. But yeah. We had no caviar this time. I'm not a big fan of caviar actually, but the oysters were so fresh.
I love oysters.
It tasted amazing.
Yeah. Love oysters. Anything seafood I love.
Yeah, man. It was so. It just tasted like when you bite into it, it tasted like the ocean, but in a good way. So no fishy at all, just like fresh ocean flavors.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I loved it.
Yeah, it's good for the soul as well. Getting out with nature
Yeah.
and that. Fantastic for the soul.
So on NAS, we're looking at what's this, a 2-hour closure.
Yeah, I'm waiting for a 2-hour close. We might, if we get this 2-hour close, I'm hoping we come down first. So these are the areas I've looked at. So I tell you what, let's mark this up, see if price does come down first. So we're looking at this. And mainly this one here. So when you get the 2-hour close above, you tend to pull back and tap these levels. So if we go down to maybe 15, let's have a look. Yeah, so look, this would be perfect. So what's the 2 hour? So there's the 2-hour close there. So the 2-hour closed on this one here. And then prices pull back first, tapped, and just gone through the roof.
Okay, so that's a wing back buy.
So that's a wing back buy. We need the 2 to close above. Let's have a look at the other side. So this one, this one might have been a bit news. What time's this? Oh, yeah, looks a bit like that was news there. So prices, where's the 2 closed? So the 2's closed here. No, here, sorry. And then prices opened up, you've popped up, tapped, and you popped straight down, tapped. So that, for me, looks like half past we probably had news.
Yeah.
And prices just spiked either way. So, bit of a difficult one, really. It's still potentially valid because it happened here as well. So I would take it, to be fair. And what's nice about wingbacks, right? What I like about wingbacks is you always seem to be able to get out of them. So, for example, let's say we get the 2-hour close above like this, and then the new 2 comes down, taps us, activates us, okay? But then this 2 closes like that.
Mm-hmm.
Where we're now thinking, oh, hang on a minute, this is meant to flip to the upside. So this is my sign to get out. So, but what you tend to get before driving down, we tend to get pullback, don't we? Tap previous support. And then you can get out at break even because you know you need to get out because the 2's closed below. So you know you need to get out. And then as you get the pullback, you're out at break even, ready for price to flip to the downside. And you're out on the wick. So that's what I do like about wingbacks. It does look like you have to tap this level low before going anywhere next. So it's all about whether we tap 21,316, really. We might come up first, but I can't really just market execute in to come up first because the 4 hasn't closed. I know the 4 can just pull back and flip at any point, which really contradicts our wing back buy. Because if we're taking a wing back buy, but we're expecting the 4, or we think the 4 could flip to the downside, that's the thing what could really catch us out. Because as price is pulling back, we're in on our wing back buy, but then we flip to the downside. But here's the thing. We would be halfway through the 4-hour candle, so it means there's another 2-hour candle to close for the 4. So for this 4 to flip all the way down to 2, this 2 would have to close until this loads up. And then the new 2 would have to look something like that in order for the 4 to flip. Could we get that?
Yeah.
Well, we could do, but then you're saying to yourself, well, why did we do this? Why didn't we just carry on? Because we needed to break a high. Did we break a high? Well, yes, we broke this high now, so we could potentially do it, but we're not rejecting off anything. If the 2, this I'm on about, if the 2 closes out above. If it closes respecting, obviously it's a different plan. But if the 2 closes above, then we're not rejecting off anything. The only thing to reject off is this level. So if you do reject, then again you've created new data and something you can't preempt. But I would expect price to come up to there at least before driving down, or even faking out to the downside. And this is why if the new 2 opens up and pushes up first and taps this, then I've got to wait for the 4-hour. Because that means we've tapped that, we've took away the advantage point. Now the 4 could flip with the next 2. I don't know if I've lost you there, Andre. But
No, so where are we looking for stops?
so stops is a good question. So there's probably no way to get out. So for example, if this 4, the only thing what's going to catch us out is if this 4 needs to flip to the downside because we're still in this lower range. So therefore, if this 4 is going to flip, it's highly likely we're going to be creating a bottom wick and potentially coming below these lows. So if we know that if this 4 is going to flip, and if it does flip, where can we expect this 4 to go if it does flip? Well, we would probably expect a doji style candle first. So with a wick, oh, calm down, darling, calm down. Maybe doji style, and then the new one comes down like so. So in that case, you could have stops below this low, or if that's too much, you could just go, well, if we do flip and I've got it wrong, I'm willing to take the hit and just have the stops below that. If we create a bottom wick on the 4, that's a 4 flipping. Yeah, that whole analysis was just wrong. So you could look at stops in and on them levels, but we are looking at a target. Not so much the 21,454, but definitely the 21,391. So that's what you're looking at. So you'd be looking at something like, if we get the wing back, that is. Pretty tight wing back. So we're looking at just shy of a 4-1, which would be nice, but this needs to calm down. We know the 4 can actually. Where's that? I did see it earlier. Oh no, that's it there. This 4 can actually come up to tap this 4 and then reject. Would we not take the sell? Oh yeah. I might be interested in a wing back sell here. The 4 still got how long left? How far can this 4 go? It's only ever rejected here, really. We're seeing if we can get a wing back sell on, because the 4's still bearish technically, but the daily's flipped. Huge contradiction on the daily. I don't think I'll take that, guys. Unless we take a swoop entry. Look at that one. That's a big pushing candle on the one.
Yeah.
It's 10 minutes left of it, surely. What we might do, we might take a swoop entry, so it'd be like in 5 minutes, and then we'll go risk free. Let me have a look. You can reject from here or here. Wow. Fives, man. We've got 10 minutes left of the hour, haven't we? If this next 5 can come up and tap, if this 5 can come and tap, I'll take it. The thing with stop.
There's a sell.
There's a sell, yeah. It's a swoop entry of a wing back sell. My stop would only be that. Just trying to see if we're going to reject from here. We might not reject from here. Because the hours come from this level. So the hours come from here. So we look at all the times the hours come from below here. Pushed up. This one came up to here. It actually came through the second one. One candle. These ones. Can't drive, to be fair. This one. It's a bit riskier. 8 minutes left of it though. I'm not going to take that. It looks nice. It's teasing me in. It's teasing me in. I'm not going to take it. Just realised I haven't had my music on. Sorry guys, I had no music on for you.
I'm waiting for you to sing.
Yeah. Moana.
Yeah.
Could we reject from here? This is the thing. Could we? I'm hoping this 2 rejects from here. Because this 2 rejects, pulls back to this level, and then gives us our bottom wick. Can we reject from here? Come on. And then we come down first, that'd be lovely. 7 minutes. Let me just quickly see how gold's getting on. Ooh, look at gold.
Yeah. I would have had a lovely TP on my candle.
Yeah, I'll have to look at that.
Yeah.
That's Sentinel there.
I think I mentioned that in one of our groups before. And I know Neil has been taking that size candle on NAS with a really good success.
Yeah.
2 to 1. Gold is dropping now as well. It's the last 10-15 minutes.
If price just keeps coming up, guys, taps this level, that's it, done. That's the advantage point completely gone for the rest of the day, really.
Okay, so then we cancel anything.
Yeah. Hopefully, the new hour will pull back first. Someone might reject from me, didn't I? Come on. Get rejected. Get rejected.
I'm gonna make a cup of coffee.
Yeah, I'm gonna go and make it brew as well. I'll be back in 5 minutes.
All right, cheers. Oh, Peter, I can't see this playing out somehow. Waiting for hourly closing fallback.
Morning, mate. Morning, John.
You all right?
Yeah, you? How's your account looking with
It's still fucking broken.
Good
Yeah.
morning, John.
Car on my account.
we can talk about both.
Yeah, both.
How are you doing,
You're
young
running
man?
drawdown and the van's still fucking broke. So yeah,
How are you doing, young man?
but I'm slowly clawing it back though.
That's all I like.
What about you? You alright?
Yeah, can't complain. Taking it easy. Not trading
Yeah.
much. Being very careful.
Picking and
You like
choosing
these?
the winners.
We're gonna bring it all back with this wingback buy on gold.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, we are. We've got a wing back buy on gold, John.
Bring back buy on gold.
Yeah.
It's gonna go to the moon.
Tell you what, it'd be nice if it's if this is the one.
It's just coming down for some fuel and then it's gonna
Yeah.
rock it out.
Where's the wingback buy from?
On the trade IDs, mate.
Oh, you put it in trade. ID.
Yeah. It's 3275 wing back buy. Break the laws.
How's the YouTube channel doing?
Slow. Well, it always is. The thing with YouTube, it's so when I done it last year, you've got to be. It's like it picks up traction. You know what I mean? So the more you're on, every day you're on, it picks up traction. But I haven't been on that much really. I mean, I missed. Was it Monday, Tuesday? I missed Monday, Tuesday. But it's yeah, it just takes time with it really.
I'll just pop a like up there again.
Yeah, that'd be lovely. That'd be lovely. Helps with the algos. That does helps with the
Yeah,
algos,
exactly.
you know.
Exactly.
But yeah, the thing with the YouTube, it's more for like it's nice people getting on and looking, but people watch the videos after, and it's good to sort of track. But I don't, because I've learned from the industry. I'd only ever follow someone who trades live. That's my thing. I would only ever learn from someone who trades live. That is it. Because you can't fake live trades. Do you know what I mean?
No.
There's so many fake people out there. It's crazy. But yeah, we're back on.
So that MT4 screen, is that your oil trade?
That's my oil trade. Yeah.
Yeah.
My oil trade. Yeah. So the way I used to do these streaming last year, I'd done it all on one, and the MT4 was on a demo account. I used to show me MT4, and I showed them like the balance grown and grown and grown, which is good for stats. But what it is, I don't trade copy. I'd have the demo account linked to my other accounts, live accounts, but I don't trade copy anymore. So
Okay.
I thought, well, how would I get around it? And then I thought, well, to be honest, I got the point under where I didn't want to show people what I'm making. So this MT4 is going to be sort of different. So I might be on a 100k account, I might be on a 50k account, I might be on a 10k account. Depending on the day, really. So I don't know why I got the MT4 up. It's just for visual, I think. Because I rotate the accounts now. I trade the accounts different days. So yeah, it was better for like transparency, showing the MT4 and it's in the MyFX book linked to it as well. But then I thought, do you know what? I don't actually need to prove anything to anyone. As long as I'm doing me. I'm on YouTube. If people want to learn from YouTube, that's absolutely fine. They can do, because that's what you get, man. People, when you start making money and you don't need, you're on the trading. You get the point where you don't need to prove anything to anyone, unless obviously we sell courses and things like that. But I don't have to. This is the thing, I don't have to. Which is a nice feeling, really. Yeah, I like teaching. That's my thing. I like teaching. I've always liked teaching.
Yeah, man, you're alright with it.
I've literally taught since I was 17 when I first joined the army. When I got promoted, I was 17. You're doing sessions at 17. Giving speeches about Bosnia to full assemblies of schools. That's how I started. I will just teach John to do yoga on the weekends. He has the yoga class with me every weekend.
Yeah, I mean it's helpful. You know, my it's definitely helped my knees. Like, it's not like seriously.
Having the carpet bed, it's helped your knees, isn't it?
Yeah. I get a really achy body as well. Like all the time. So the yoga's really good. So.
Yeah. I told you, every day, 5 times, you'd be good as new.
I do struggle with the squat in this sometimes.
Yeah, but we're getting there, aren't you? You're getting able to get lower. Which is nice.
I am, yeah.
You're nearly there. You're nearly there.
What are you guys on about?
Yeah. I was just talking about John's yoga sessions he has with me once a week.
Are you for real? Or because I can talk about yoga if you want to.
Do you do yoga?
I don't do it often enough. I have to get back into. I just do it at home.
Yeah.
I've got this couple that I follow.
Mm.
They started during COVID, started the channel, and it's just really good for beginners as well. And they've got a whole, of beginners to advanced. But there's just a couple of videos that me and my wife do every now and again.
Yeah.
This is so lovely, especially the more relaxing, the stretchy style, the yin yoga, where you basically just stretch out and then you end with a 5-10 minutes lying on the ground and not fall asleep there, which is absolutely amazing. So it's really good for for your flexibility, and especially when you sit down a lot, you as well sitting in front of the computer, and when I was working and just in the office job and stuff, it's so good just to do that in the evenings.
Yeah, I fancy getting into it. Like, I do. I need to do something.
If you're okay doing it at home and you want to get your missus to join you, then I can send you the channel. It's
Yeah, send us a link.
yeah, no worries.
I was fitted out until I broke my leg, and then from there, it's just getting back into it, isn't it? I go walking like, which walking up hills like mountains are good.
Oh yeah, definitely, that's good.
Yeah, I need to do more. What it is with me, Andre, I was thinking about this yesterday, right? So there's a gym out the back of me. And with me, I need an end product. So I thought, right, I need to go to the gym. But what for?
All right. So here's the plan. You are gonna enter Hyrox.
What's Hyrox?
Oh, what's Hyrox? Oh my God, how much time do you have? Hyrox is it's a fitness competition.
Right.
Basically, it's a total of 8-kilometer running.
Yeah.
With 8 workouts split in between the running. So you run 1 kilometer loops at a time, and then after each kilometer there's a workout. And it's the same at every Hyrox event. I'll say it to you. I've been doing this now. I started, was it last year? With my first one. And for me, like you said, that's my purpose for going to the gym. Because I get bored if I just go to the gym.
Yeah.
Weight training.
That's exactly it.
I know I'm training for my next competition.
Where are they at? Are they all over?
They're all over. But mate, it is so popular in the UK. It is almost impossible to get a ticket.
Oh,
It is ridiculously popular in the UK. So what all the Brits are doing, they're coming over to Europe now.
Yeah.
So now I did it in, or me and my wife, we did it in Copenhagen now earlier in March.
Yeah.
And I think more than half of the people were Brits.
Really?
That came there. Yeah, it is just so lovely. And it's a nice community, and like you said, it gives me a focus at the gym. And I do different workouts, and and I get inspiration from Instagram. There's a lot of professionals there, and I see, okay, what are they doing? Oh, that looks like a good workout. Or there's free workout plans or you just make your own one. But in the end, for me, it just it helps me to focus, and it's not just weight training because I just get so bored. Just wait.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll send you that info.
Yeah, I'll have a look. Because that's it with me. I just think, because I'm not a materialistic or I've got to look amazing type person. So going to the gym just to look good, it doesn't really interest me. Like, it sounds bad. I've got to have some sort of goal at the end of it. Because I just think what I believe in, right, and you might disagree here, but I actually believe every human has a default setting of like what your shape and body is. You have a default setting. So, for example, let's say your default setting is a certain weight, and then you go to the gym for 6 months to a year, completely change your lifestyle. Yes, you'll get skinnier, but if you ever stop, you'll always revert back to your default setting. Do you know what I mean? So if you're in your genes, if you're meant to be fat, if you stop the gym, you will revert back to your default setting, being fat. Do you know what I mean? Maybe it's a shit way to look at it.
You just don't stop, then that becomes your new default.
Well, that's it. But eventually you've got to stop, you get old and things like that.
Well, no, we shouldn't stop. I know you're not going to work out at the same intensity anymore.
Yeah.
But there's no reason to stop. And in this Hyrox, mate, there's ladies in their 70s.
Well,
they do it fucking faster than me.
Well, they say muscles don't age, don't they? They say like muscles don't age, and you can constantly keep building on them. But yeah, I think I've just got the whole wrong. The army didn't help because you get hammered on the fitness, so where you don't enjoy it. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So I'm quite lucky with the outdoors. So normally in the army, in the military, you can look at mountains as a civilian. You'd be thinking, oh, they're beautiful. I'd love to walk up them. But with a military head, you're thinking, oh, well, they're fucking awful. I'd hate to run up them because that's what you do. So it can ruin your experience of fitness. Yeah, I mean, but yeah, I've got to have a goal. I've always wanted to get into like trail running.
Oh yeah, same.
Yeah, but I've just never had the oomph to go.
Shoes, I just haven't used them for trail running yet.
Yeah. Do you know what it is? Andre, honestly, I'm going to tell you the truth here. I wanted to get into trail run that much, right? I was buying the magazines, Trail Runner. I bought a little vest, a little running vest, right? And I bought 2 trail running trainers.
Yeah.
And I've never been trail running. I wear the trainers a lot, right? I wear the trainers a lot because they're dead comfy, right? But I have been running in one pair, to be fair.
Yeah.
But the other pair, they were fresh. I'll show you the Scott ones. They are Scott ones. But yeah, I've never actually been trail running. I need to fucking get a grip, don't I? So sad. I need to get it. I've got a beautiful spot as well. There's a competition every year here, where they run up to Snowdonia.
Yeah.
And people come from all around the world and do it. I've always thought, I'd really like to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I need to get a grip. But yeah, send me that competition.
Yep, I sent you the yoga just now.
And the yoga. Bloody, you've changed my life here, Andre. I'm going to be in the garden doing yoga with my spandex on. And then put my clothes on, going for a swim. Going for a run, fighting a bear. Bloody hell. Come on, Naz. I need a trade. Andre was telling us about goal 15 minute, John. Is he still on?
Yeah, sorry. I was just catching up on some news about. I don't know if you saw it about a guy who drove through
in Liverpool.
Liverpool fans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bad life, wasn't it? It wasn't a terrorist, supposedly. I think it was just a guy suffering from mental health. Don't know. Mad. Tell you what, they get no luck, Liverpool, though, do they?
Mm.
Like, when they won the league, somebody sold like 10,000 blue flares, but replastered red flares on them. So when they were all going off in the stadium, it was all blue flares, and their rivals is Everton, who were blue. I tell you what, that is some shithousery. That's fantastic. Whoever done that, what a legend. So that's why you didn't see on the last when they won the league. You don't see many videos in the stadium. Normally with fans, you see they're all cheering and they're all in the stands and that. And you don't see many of that last game because it was all blue supposedly. And then obviously their victory parade. Someone runs after them down. Like, they don't get any luck.
Yeah, it's fucking horrible, isn't it? Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not a fan of Liverpool or the fans, but nobody deserves to get mowed down by a car.
Yeah, I know.
You know,
Yeah. Most of the fans, mate, not even
there,
thousands. Most of the fans are like from out of the city.
Mm.
But yeah, I know what you mean.
Like, there are fucking kids there, mate. Like, there
Yeah.
might have been kids that got mowed down as well. It's just
I think there was one kid.
human beings make me sick, mate.
Yeah. Yeah, we're
I
awful.
know we're
Like.
human beings, but like, what I mean is most human beings make me sick. Most of them either love violence or they love stupidity.
Mm. Did you have a Great British strike in your town? Oh, you wouldn't have done, Andre, would you? Did you have one? A Great British strike?
Great British strike. What are you on about?
There was a strike on a couple of days ago.
Oh yeah,
in
I
all
don't,
the
I don't really
cities.
know what it was, but yes, there was a strike in Plymouth.
So what they've done is all the cities, everyone went to the city centres on the same date, and they basically to strike about Keir Starmer, two-tier Keir Starmer, and asking for a referendum, and a new election. And the aim was not to like use your card.
Sorry,
it was all about using your cash.
Sorry, Pete, my headset died. I got up to two-tier referendum.
Oh, so basically, it's an old army lad, a soldier, that organised it, and the strike was every city across the UK. Everyone's meant to go to the city centre and protest about to have a new referendum, a new general election to get Keir Starmer out, and also everyone was encouraged to not use your card at all, your bank card, and only use cash in local shops as well for one day. You might think one day, but that's quite a lot of money. You think if everyone stopped going into Tesco for one day, it's quite a lot of money, really. Tesco to be hit with one day. It was good. I think they're doing it again. They're going to keep doing it basically until Starmer's out. Something needs to happen though, mate, because it's going to turn to violence. It's literally going to turn to violence. We're like on the tipping point of violence. People will get the point where they're like just had enough, and they'll just turn to pure violence.
Or civil war, just literally.
Well, that's what I mean,
shit
civil
load of
war.
people.
But I don't think it's civil war though, mate. I mean, I don't think it's civil war. I think it's a war between the people and Parliament. Do you know what I mean? I know there's like divides in the country, and there's a big divide with the Pakistani community.
Like the media will try and keep as many people divided and hating each other as much as possible to stop them from coming together and sorting the government out.
Yeah.
That's just the way it works, isn't it?
What's good to see though, Reform has literally started to do everything they said they were going to do in the councils, which is good.
Yeah, I saw
Good
that.
start.
Like, they've literally just started straight away, haven't they?
Yeah, no messing about. I watched a documentary on Vietnam, and I'm fascinated by Vietnam War, and how the Americans were so shit in that war. What they'd done was just shocking. If you watch it, it's on their Netflix called Turning Point. And this is what I'm on about with politicians like Nixon and Johnson. How did they not go to jail? Like, disgusting what they've done. They knew that the war couldn't be won like years prior, and because of their political image, they didn't pull out. They stayed in because of their image. And for me, that's sickening. That's disgusting.
Well, it just goes to show if you've got money, you can do what you want, haven't you? There's always someone you can pay off.
We're awful, aren't we? I think we're just an awful generation at the minute.
We're an awful species.
We are an awful species. Humans are horrid, man. What humans do to other humans is mental.
Yeah. You should see what it's like in other countries, not what they do in this country. Like,
I have seen what it's like in other countries, mate. That's what I'm on
true.
about.
Yeah.
That's why I say, like, in the army, you travel the world, yes, but if you're in the infantry, you see all the shit places of the world. You don't see the good places, you see all the shit places.
And you hear all the horror stories as well.
Yeah. Like, for example, Cyprus. I say Cyprus to you, you think, oh, holiday destination, lovely place, island. It is a nice place, this is the thing. I would go on holiday now, but when I first left the army, I was like, I would never go on holiday in Cyprus. Because in Cyprus, it can be rough. I've seen the rough sides to it. Like a lot of the Russian mafia own a lot of the nightclubs and that over there.
Do they?
Yeah. It's a dodgy place, and some of the stories what we've had from the army, and from my blokes who were in the army, I won't say too much on here, but I've had some horror stories. And you know, but you know, that's a thing. It ruins it for you.
Thing is, I wouldn't go to, if I went to Cyprus, I wouldn't go there to go clubbing anyway.
Do you know what? It is a lovely island, and it is a good holiday place. Even if you want clubbing, the clubbing's fantastic. If you want quiet, it's fantastic. It's got everything really.
But the thing is, like, you know, you're either someone that goes out to make trouble, or you're someone that just goes out for a good time. I don't think if you're just do you know what I mean? Like, if you're just a customer that goes in there, dances and has a few drinks, do you know what I mean? As long as you're not going out of your way to piss the staff off,
yeah,
you're not really going to get into trouble with you. Do you know what I mean? If the Russian mafia owns the club makes money by having people come in, drink and dance, do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I'm not saying they just start having a go at everyone. It's not like that at all. If you're into the drugs and things like that.
So they're on the gold, so it's almost touched the advantage point, right?
On gold?
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't count this as the rejection to the advantage point. I would just say that...
Yeah, so almost. But if it taps that, then we cancel the wing back? Or...
No, because this is off the daily, really, Andre. So,
okay.
What did we have off the daily? So, if we look at the dailies, the daily range, we haven't really got a range as such. The weeklies broke out. So, we this weekly could flip to the upside. And what else could tell us that it could flip? Well, we've had a fake out to the downside, but this gold can get you like this, right? So don't get me wrong, right? Gold can really rape you like this. So if you've had a fake out to the downside and you broke a low, that's a good sign. Okay, we should have not enough liquidity, because fake outs don't just mess you about. They also grab liquidity, because as soon as you get a fake out, people will be getting in more than they for buys at that point. People be getting in for sells. So as soon as you had a break below this, people will be getting in. Stop loss will be just above the high. So it creates liquidity as well. Plus we broke a low. So we've got liquidity now. to push past these levels if we want to. So we are bullish on the weekly. So we're expecting a bottom wick on the weekly. We don't need much of a bottom wick because we've broke a low and because we've had a fake out. So this bottom wick can come. We don't know where it could come, but it doesn't need much of a one. That's what we're getting at. But it's already done one. And then the daily has broke back into the area. So we have got a bit of contradiction, has closed back into the area. But even when the daily wants to drive down, the daily rejects from this level. So even if we're wrong on the analysis, on the weekly analysis, the daily should still reject from this level. And if you remember when we done our probability analysis, 7 times prices came from this level and came to this level 7 times. In 6 of them rejected and tapped at least 3307. 6 of them. 1 of them drove through. So then we've got to go, okay, 6 out of 7 times we reject from there. What's the probability? Well, that's pretty high probability that we're going to reject from there. But also, what else have we got on our hand? Well, the weekly could flip to the upside. And if the weekly does flip to the upside, and this is just a bottom wick tap, flip to the upside, we could be really in the money. It could be a huge reward for it. So it's really, this is just off the daily really. So basically, if we don't get tapped today, we delete. That's the only time we delete really. I know I went on the well there, Andrea.
No. That's
I do, mate. I go around the well. I do.
That's what I need to know. Just because I'll probably log off soon to
Yeah.
go to the gym to go and get my purposeful workout, for my high rocks. We're doing in October. Me and my wife, we're doing a mixed doubles
Oh yeah.
high rocks.
That would be good.
Yeah. So what that means is when you do doubles, you run together. You can't run away from each other. So you have to run together and you do the workouts together. You just share, the load on the workouts.
Yeah.
But what that means when you do mixed doubles is that the woman, they have to do the weight that the men does. So there's a couple of stations where there's a weight involved. You've got lunges, you've got the sled push and pull. So they have to do the men's weight because you can't change to a different weight mid workout. So she's working hard now to get the strength up to. Well, she's quite strong. So the weight is not a problem for her. The problem is actually the running.
Yeah.
But so we're doing this in Hamburg in October.
Really?
And then,
How much is it to enter them?
To enter, it's getting quite expensive. It's about 110 pounds or something, I think.
That's all right.
Round about that level. So it's getting quite pricey, and then also because it's so hard to get a ticket in the UK, people have to travel for it. But then you look at it, it's a weekend away, a quick little weekend if you can. So me and my best mate, when our first high rocks, we did a doubles together.
Yeah.
And we went to Torino in Italy because that's the spot where we could get tickets. So we had a boys' weekend doing a fitness workout and had a nice meal afterwards, a glass of wine, and it was lovely.
Yeah.
So instead of going out on the lash and things like that, which we're not really like that anymore. We are a bit older now, so that was really lovely. And then he actually came to Copenhagen as well, but he couldn't compete because he had an injury. But I met him in Birmingham, and we did a competition there. So it's lovely.
Yeah.
So my aim is to do 1 or 2 of these a year. Do the Copenhagen one, and then trying to do one abroad somewhere if I can.
Yeah, it's good that that's what I like. See, I used to go. Living in Wales is a bit of a nightmare, which sounds crazy, but on Anglesey, there's not many fly fishing venues.
Right, okay, yeah.
And I used to fish competitions.
Yeah.
But you've got to travel miles, just for one competition now. It's a bit of a nightmare. But that's what it used to be like. You drive somewhere, you'd sleep in the van, you'd get cozy.
Yeah.
You'd meet up with a friend or something, and then you just go fishing, fish the competition, and go home.
Fantastic.
That is fantastic.
That's my neighbour with a boat. He's into fishing, so we want to go there. Where we were sailing weekend, we could see on a monitor there was so many fish there.
Yeah.
And it's like it's a big selection. So at some point we want to go there and fish a bit, and have some fresh fish.
Yeah. Can't be fresh fish.
Yes.
Come on, we're not moving here. We're not moving. We've got 2 potential setups, guys. 2 potential setups. See, if this 2 can come down and tap, I'll be taking this wing back by.
So
Oh, you got wing back by on Naz as well.
Yeah. I'm hoping this 2 is the one. That's what tends to happen. The next 2. So after the break above, the next 2's the one what comes down and taps it. But it's just whether if we push up first and tap this level, this is where I'm gonna have to wait for the 4. So we're gonna have to wait for another an hour and a half at that point. It's a bit of a nightmare. So I'm hoping we come down first. So we're close. We're close. I'm just gonna nip the toilet, guys. I'll be back in a second. Keep pulling back. Yes. Okay, that's nice. We're pulling back. We haven't tapped that zone yet. 1 hour's gonna flip. Look what XRP's doing. $3.3, 4.5. So close to my target. My entry. Look at the breakout on platinum. Out of our little wedge, look at that. So this is what we're expecting on oil as well, right? So if you remember, we had this wedge as well on platinum, yeah? We broke out to the downside, grabbed the low, bear in mind we closed below these levels, and then came back in, and that was enough to break out of the wedge. That's what I'm looking for on oil. Similar. So we're after close back above.
Are you still playing Armour?
Yeah. Why?
Just debating on getting it.
Get it, mate. It's just that all the mods as well. It's a bit all over at the minute because all the mods have just come out for the PS5. So there's loads of like teeth and problems at the minute. But yeah, it's fantastic, man. Should come along. Should come along.
I recently got back. I got sucked into the Battlefront 2 hype. So I ended up,
Battlefront 2?
re-downloading that. Yeah.
I've never played that. I've only ever played Battlefield 1 and Battlefield 5.
You've never played the Battlefront games?
Battlefront or Star Wars?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I have. Yeah, they were good. They were good, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I got sucked into the hype and I re-downloaded that again and started playing that.
Yeah,
keep me entertained.
Yeah, that'd suit you. I like history. I like realism. I hate COD.
Yeah.
The way COD went with all the daft skins and jumping off walls and lasers.
Yeah, one of my mates, he told me about a game called Foxhole. It's on PC. I'm not sure if it's on PlayStation.
Foxhole.
Yeah, it's like it's hard to explain, but it's like a massive war game where the battles go on for like a month or two, and it's like you've got like 200 or 300 people that play it, and it's an overhead game. Foxhole, as in the fox. And you've got loads of different roles that you can fill. Like you've got logistic roles, you've got
like World War II.
Naval roles, yeah, World War II, yeah.
Right,
like delivery roles.
See, it looks too cartoony that for me.
Roles. Like there's an entire ecosystem on it.
Yeah.
And like each 150 player team, they sort of progressively push along along the map, basically, or on like the world.
Yeah. See, I used to play a game called
I don't
Company
know how
of
I feel about
Heroes.
the overhead. Don't know how I feel about the overhead camera, but like I like the idea of it, like where you can play like different logistics roles and
Yeah.
you know, and all that sort of stuff.
This
Like, you
looks
can,
like
for example, there's a role where you can work in the dockyard and you can use the cranes, and you use the cranes to pick up the supplies.
yeah.
And you put the supplies on the ship, and then someone uses the ship. They deliver their stuff to another continent and all that sort of stuff. Like, it's just really meticulous.
Yeah. It's like Men at War and also Company of Heroes, it looks like. You've seen Company of
That's
Heroes?
probably the best way I'd describe it. Yeah, it's a bit like that, but it's just massive online multiplayer.
Yeah.
But each soldier is a character, is a player. Like, you don't control.
Ah,
both
right,
squads,
I
you
get you.
Control one unit.
I get you. I'm at
And
the
like
minute,
whatever
mate.
you want to do in the military, you can do basically.
Like a bit of a modern day Command and Conquer.
Yeah.
Yeah, a bit like that, but you only control one unit.
This is what well,
Yeah,
Arm is similar.
That's when I last played, really. Was when Command and Conquer was popular.
Yeah. It was Class Command and Conquer, wasn't it? So this is what
That
I'm
was great.
hammering at the minute. Armour. And this is similar, so you'll have like you can have tank crews, you can have pilots, you can have someone getting supplies, like logistics, medics, things like that. But
Yeah, the thing is, Foxhole is far deeper than armor. Like, for example, you can have like, you know, like sort of like forklift type vehicles that put supplies on trains, and then someone drives the train to a location, and then you've got other players that unload the train, and then do you know what I mean? Like, it's like really, really deep in terms of the logistics. Like I said, you've got like a role where you can be in the dockyards and you can use the crane, and then you use the crane to put supplies on ships, for example, or take them off of ships, put them onto a vehicle or a road vehicle, and then someone drives the road vehicle. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's really, really, really in depth. Which I've never seen a game like that before. I just wish it wasn't overhead. Give me 2 seconds, Jordan's ringing me.
Yeah, I remember Command and Conquer. Command and Conquer Red Alert. Class.
Yeah, it's great, man. I love that. And I was just thinking, and the other on the PlayStation, I used to play Medal of Honor, the first one.
Yeah. The graphic.
Which is also, and I just look at it now. Do you know Steven Spielberg? He's one of the writers. He was the writer for that game.
Really?
It's when he was making Saving Private Ryan that he decided, okay, he wants to have a game. That's brilliant.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's the first one from 1999.
Yeah, that was like the first sort of World War II.
And I remember playing it, and you know when they did the D-Day landings there and stuff. It was so intense, even on the PS1. You know, it was freaking amazing.
Yeah. Oh. Dude, yeah. This wasn't it?
Yeah, there we go. That's the picture there.
Look at that.
Yeah. Yes.
I mean, look at the graphics on this. Look at that. Should we watch? Should we have a watch? Let's have a look at the graphics on this. This is the trading stream, guys. But we're just waiting for setups. The old PlayStation sign, wow.
Unstoppable.
Yeah.
Good morning, Lieutenant. Colonel Hargrove from the
Let's
office.
see the gameplay. want to see the beach landing. With the meadow.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, I found the beach landing gameplay. I mean, I am pushing my internet here, like. Normally, here we are. This is the one. Big Charlie sector.
That's the one. Yes.
Alright, man.
Look at this. They're so scared.
You can see the emotion in their square face.
Yeah.
But
There's a
when,
guy puking there somewhere as well.
yeah, but when this came out, it was like, wow,
This was so difficult.
wasn't it? It was like,
This
wow.
was so difficult. This level. Yeah.
And remember, I always remember saying, look at the graphics on this. Oh, look at that. That's so real.
Yeah.
Are you gonna drop the gate or what? Jesus. Here we go.
Down soon. There we go.
Look at that. Look. Wow. Love it.
I feel this was just this was the shit, I think.
It was, wasn't it? I'll tell you what game I did like, Brothers in Arms, that was a good game.
I don't think I ever played that one.
God, it's mad, innit? I feel proper old, me, you know. Oh, look at this drop here.
Right.
Gonna get a flip on the 1 hour, I think, on gold, potentially.
But yeah, I'll think about Reforger, maybe.
Well, if you do, mate, I mean, I've got a group of players who we play all the time. I can introduce you to them. You'd fit right in, you. You would fit right in.
I'll fit right in anywhere.
I fit right in. Come on. What are you gonna do today? Look at that. That 6 hours, lovely. Like, you get a 6 hour close like that. Really nice. I'll probably be on till about 11, guys. We need this 2 hour. This 2 hour doesn't actually have to flip back bullish, right? It can actually stay bearish, but with this 2 has to be the one what taps it. If this 2 doesn't tap it, then I'm not interested in it. Might as well do some admin while I wait then, eh?
Now,
What have I got to do today?
You got to send me over those new yoga sets, you know? Those new yoga moves.
Yeah, well, I've got a new one now. Andre sent me a link. So there'll be some new techniques.
Yeah, if you look at their channel, just go through their playlists, and they've got split by beginner or by length or things like that. And,
Yeah.
Have a look there.
You know, I spoke to Jordan the other day, and
Yeah.
not Jordan that I know, but you know, Forex Jordan, and he was saying to me that he's been testing the trades at 12:30 on Asia with Naylor, and it's been going really well. He said to me, like, you know, while the 3-to-1s might work out sometimes, he said if you're trying to get past the challenge, do 2-to-1. And he said he does them on NAS and gold. And last night I decided to put 2 trades on the trades on NAS and gold at 12:30. One lost and the other won, and I ended up being 500 up.
Nice.
So yeah, but in fairness, again, like gold had a 3-to-1 play out. I didn't put 2-to-1. I didn't put 3-to-1 on. I put 2-to-1 on.
Yeah.
Listen to what Jordan said, because he just said like the odds of them being 2-to-1 are much higher than 3-to-1s. So if you're trying to get consistency, you need the 2-to-1s. So
Was that the gold at 12:30?
yeah, gold and NAS at 12:30.
Yeah.
But he said don't do the 2-to-1s on NAS, only do the 2-to-1s on gold. That's what he's been doing. I think, if I remember rightly.
Well, I did that last week, and last week was probably the worst week ever on that.
What, on
On
gold?
gold, black candle, yeah.
Yeah, I think I only did 1 or 2 on gold. Sweet.
But I've been doing
I think I got a loss last week.
Yeah.
I can see why we're not dropping down here, guys. We might need this forward to close first. If this forward closes first and then pullback happens, so maybe that's why. Means we might not happen the next hour. Let's see. I'll still take it if you come down on this too.
And personally, I was potentially thinking about buying a fucking mechanics ratchet set for the van, because I'm pretty sick and tired of that van not being fixed.
Oh, is it still in the garage?
Well, it's a guy normally comes out, a family friend of Jordan's normally comes out and fixes it, but he's been saying he's going to fix it for almost a fucking week now. But I think what we're going to do is we're going to try and put some money back, and we're probably going to try and save up and get a second van. Not like a tipper, but get like a van of your size, basically. Well, that's a good point, actually. What vans do you use for your business?
So just Ford Customs.
Do Ford Custom?
Ford Customs, yeah. In my removal company, we had all different types. I've had Ivecos, I've had Vauxhalls, Peugeots, we've had MANs, DAFs, had loads of different trucks. V-dubs. I think with sort of like trade,
Ford Custom, the bloody.
with trade, you're best off like Because Ford's not, the parts are cheap. And the vans are going to get battered, aren't they? You know, going to get battered. So it's getting the balance right. You don't want a brand new one, though. This is the thing, because you just have your eyes ripped out. You don't want a brand new one, but you don't want an old one. You need a sort of medium type one. Yeah, it's just getting the balance right, really. And if you've got a mechanic who's a friend or something, take him with you when you go and see a van.
Ford Customs are fucking expensive. Like, you're looking at minimum £8,000.
Yeah. Well, you're after a tipper, aren't you? So we had a Ford Transit tipper, which was fantastic.
Nah, not in this instance. No, I'd be after a car. I'd be after a van, like a Ford Custom, that sort of shape, that sort of size, like a medium-sized van.
Yeah,
Only gonna be as a backup, really.
Vauxhall Vivaros are pretty cheap. Because what you'll find, especially with the
Vivaros,
yeah, there's people time.
I hear a lot of horror stories about like
What?
Vauxhall and Peugeot.
Well, this is the thing, they're cheap. The parts are cheap. Do you know what I mean? The parts are cheap. So it's, if you want something more solid, then you want like a transporter, but it's expensive, and then the parts are expensive. So you've got to weigh it up.
Yeah.
What do you want it for? It's going to be for work, isn't it? It's got to get you from A to B and carry all your tools. So, yeah, but as long as the image is right as well, it's getting the balance right. If it looks scruffy, then you're going to come across scruffy.
Yeah.
I've been seeing loads of full businesses getting sold with the equipment and the vans lately for cheap. I say businesses, not the rights to the business, more the equipment and the van. People are just struggling, man. That's what it is. Come on.
And I saw an ex-post office van the other day.
Yeah.
Yesterday. Like, I think it was like 1,800 quid, a Peugeot Expert, I think.
Yeah.
Which didn't look too bad. That was in really good condition on 80,000 miles. You know they've been looked after. But again, I just umming and ahhing about things like that.
Yeah. Good morning. 8 Mile, is it? Or is it Smile? I don't know if it's Smile or 8 Mile. Oh, I've got a stitch just saying 8 Mile there, Andre. Yeah. It's image running it. Come on, get down. Boring trading, isn't it? Boring, boring. And that's what it should be. Trading should be boring. Flipping back up here. Come on, get down. So we ideally don't want this to tap 21,316. What are you doing? 53 minutes left for the two, so that the new one. So the one's closed bearish. Might see it tap up here. So the one closed, then we closed bearish, which we've had. And then the new one opened up, pushed down, tapped, and then flipped to the upside. We need this to flip to the downside. Do it. Don't do it to me. Okay, this one still hasn't moved. Oh, okay. Yep, we're nearly there, guys. We're nearly there. I'll be on till 11 anyway.
How long are you staying on for?
Yeah, I'll be on till 11.
All right. Okay, well, I'm gonna quickly jump into my Discord to go and do this quote, Jordan. So
Yeah,
I'll be
no
back
worries,
in about
man.
10-15 minutes, alright?
Yeah, no worries. Catch you later, mate.
Alright, see you in a
See
sec.
you in a bit. Great day, bin day, isn't it? Well, the kids are off school this week. They're all still in bed. Break the highs here. Driving up either, guys. I think it's that forward close. We need that forward close.
I'm gonna log off, mate.
Yeah.
I'm keeping my gold wingbacks on.
Yeah, no worries, Andre. I'll see you tomorrow anyway,
Yeah.
if you're on.
But you'll pop in the chat if you need to cancel the.
Yeah.
So it's only if they don't get activated today, we cancel it. The gold.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, mate. Catch you
All right.
later.
See you, mate. Bye.
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 Oh, gold's flipped. Come on, don't be driving. 14 minutes left of the 4, guys. Nice. Okay. What's happening? Welcome to the stream, guys. You know, I know it's a bit slow and quiet at the minute, but unfortunately that's what trading is. A lot of waiting about. We've got two potential trades on. We've got a trade on NAS. We're looking at taking buys from 21,200, and we've got a potential trade on gold. Again, we're looking at taking buys at 3,275. That's what I've got going on at the minute. We're in longs on oil. So this is a swing trade. Something like that on oil. And then yeah, we're just waiting. Fortunately, we've got to wait, guys. But I trade most weekdays from 8 AM UK time, London session. We just started again back up on YouTube. I normally just trade live. I trade live every day for members in house. But we thought we'd come back onto YouTube. So we're just waiting. We're just waiting, guys. I think now it's going to happen till this 4 closes in 9 minutes. I think with the new 4 hour, we might get a bottom wick tap and then maybe a flip. Nice. Okay, so we've got a new 4 candle now. Can this new 4 come down? Can this new 4 come down? We're going to be taking a buy from these levels, 21,200. Oh, you're the noise. I love the sound of it. We've got some news at 1:30. We need to come down quick. Ideally in the first hour. Come on the 4, get down. Oh! Excuse me. Oh. What are we doing, guys? We're slow. We're very slow this morning. Come on, Goldie, get down. We're really struggling. If we see it pop up to 21,316, guys, that'll be me. I'm probably going to call it now anyway. Okay, right, guys. Thanks for jumping on. I know we haven't grabbed anything again. However, we have got an oil trade still going on, which is a swing trade. We're still in this. It'll be interesting to see how this daily closes today. That'll be nice to see. Gold, I have got a wing back buy. I've also put this in our trade ideas. So we've got a wing back buy from 3275 and stop loss is 3256, and we're expecting price to come back up to 3500 potentially. That's all-time highs if we're going to break the all-time highs, that is. But I'd definitely be going risk-free, taking partial at 3311. So that's what I've got on for gold. For NAS, if this 4 hour comes up, if this 4 hour comes up, this whole trade is void. If we tap 21316, the whole trade's void. Just delete everything. We'll just come back tomorrow. If this 4 hour can come down without tapping 21318, and we tap our wing back buy area 21200, then I'll be in for a buy. Stops would just be the low 21145. Target would be up here 21392. That's what I've got going on. Okay, so I am gonna love yous and leave yous, and I will see yous tomorrow morning. You're all doing well. Hey, graphics, you okay, buddy? Just about to close the stream, mate. But I will see you tomorrow morning, 8 o'clock. It won't be a long one tomorrow because I've got things to do, but I will be on around about the 8 o'clock mark. So see you later, guys. All the best.